Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to what is another episode of Let's Build a Theme Park. And in this episode we will start supporting the Lifthill structure of our flying coaster. And yeah, I had some help with it. While I was building, I Skyped with version 1 and asked him, sent him pics and asked him what he thought about what I've done, and yeah, so whatever you will be seeing in about 15 minutes, some of the credit has to go to him because he really helped me with it, and I'm very thankful for that. Yeah, I guess the most difficult thing in supporting with NCSO are of course the inversions, especially the big loop. There are, if you use the CSO supports, the custom supports, there is a way to support the large loopings without using 8 cars and without any glitches at all. But of course with NCSO you don't have those supports, you don't have those objects, so you have to use zero clearances, and it will glitch eventually. But I think the way I did the looping supports in this here on this coaster, at least in my opinion, that's like the best way to do it. It connects. This supports are connecting from most of the angles, and they're don't glitching that hard, which I find very important. I hate it when the support's starting to glitch, and that's the case with most supports I'm seeing on either on an E or somewhere else, that the supports are either not connecting to the track and floating like around it, or they're glitching like fuck. So I think it's very important to yeah, to, well, I don't know, to just that the supports look good, because what use do custom supports have if they don't look good? And they can look as realistic as they want, as long as they're glitching. They are not doing anything, at least for me. Yeah, that's my opinion. I know many of the NE guys and many of you probably disagree with me on that, but that's just something I really try to get right when I'm doing supports. But okay. What you might have noticed right now is that there are so many supports on this Lifthill that it's just a little bit too much, I think. If you more or less you have to use the pipes to do the supports on the Lifthill, because they are more or less the only objects that are working at all. I made a inverted coaster once. Some of you may remember it, Psycho it was called, and I did all the supports with barrels. And I still think it looks pretty good, but it seems I'm the only one in this universe who thinks the supports look good on Psycho. So yeah, you more or less you have to use the pipes, and because they're very thick, it looks right now very over supported. It would be realistic, or more realistic, if the support structure wasn't that thick, if the pipes itself weren't that thick, but they are, and therefore it looks just over supported. Yeah. Now I just sent version 1 a pic of the Lifthill so that he can tell me what he thinks, and he said more or less the same. They're too much. maybe if the coaster wasn't that high, then it wouldn't bother me that much. Like on the inverted coaster on the other end of the map, the supports are the same, have the same gap between them. But since the coaster is like I don't know, not half as high as this one, it looks better there, or it looks right there, because the coaster isn't that high and you don't have that many pipes flying around all the coaster. Here the coaster is significantly higher, and therefore it looked over supported. That's why I just took some of the supports out and changed made some not every gap like the same, so that we have one that is like five squares gap, and then we have 2 or 3 or whatever I want to tell you. I don't know. But it looks much better now, and I really like it. And then we had to, or I had to put in the support under there, but that's okay. I was thinking about making the backbone of the Lifthill thicker, so that it looks better. I think it looks very fragile right now, with those big gaps. But on the other hand, I'm not. I hate doing that. I hate doing making backbones thicker and whatever, because I really suck at it. But maybe I will give it a try again someday. Not this episode, not the next 10 episodes, but when I'm building again on Let's Build a Theme Park, maybe I will do it then. What I'm doing right now with this little tunnel section is I want Rome to have some hills, because if you know Rome, it's the capital of Italy. But the antique Rome, it was built originally on 7 hills, and I thought doing Rome without any hills would be wrong. But and I had, when the time I was building this episode, I had an idea what I wanted to do with Rome, with the attractions and everything, and therefore I needed this part of the coaster to not be in the way of those hills. I didn't want to build the hills around the coaster. I wanted the coaster to interact with the hills and don't be in the way of the hills, if that makes any sense. I guess not, but well, who cares. The first attraction I wanted to do was a log flam, because I told you like ages ago when I built the Yamatai, the Asian themed area, that I wanted a bigger log flume somewhere in the park. That the log flume in the Asian area was like the kids' log flume, a small, little, nice, tidy log flam, for the kids, suitable for all the kids, for families, for grandparents, for I don't know, and that I wanted to do a bigger one someday. Then of course I did the Hanse-Bereich with Dördebecker, which is the huge super splash we have in the park, and I kind of lost the idea to do another log flume, because basically the super splash is a very huge log flume, more or less. But I decided in Rome, when I did the Rome section, that I wanted to have another log flume in the park, and I wanted to have a huge log flume, not as huge as a Störtebeker of course, but like a real log flume, a real looking log flume thing, not those 16 people per boat super splash kind of thing. So I decided basically, because when I started Rome, of course, the Shire was already completed, and I had only Rome and the post-apocalyptic area left. And to be honest, an water attraction in a post-apocalyptic desert kind of surrounding, that's not no, that just doesn't work. So I decided to do the log flume in Rome, and I decided to use the dinghy slide kind of thing to create the big drop, because I wanted it to be steep. I don't like those flat kind of 45-degree drops that you get when you use log flume only. Yeah, so basically I just lost what I wanted to say. Well, I don't care. Who cares? What I'm doing here is I'm setting the dummy track. We will need a dummy track later for this log flume, because of if we merge the log flume with the slide to get the first drop, then we won't be able to use as many boats on the log flume as I would like to. Then we can only place like 4, 5 or 6 boats on the log flume, and that's just not enough for log flume as huge and as big as I want to do. So I decided to use a dummy track to get more boats on the ride. Yeah. And if we do the dummy track like under the station of the dummy track, under the real station, then we have a chance to get both of them into one house, and so that you as someone who looks at the park in game will not immediately realize that it's a dummy track, because you can't see the dummy track, and the station of the dummy track and the station of the real track is in the same house, in the station building itself. That's something I did in the ThemePark as well. I used the dummy track, I put the dummy track station underneath the real station, so I could use it, could build one house around it, and that's it. For example, on my Bergpark project, you know, the park with the huge mountains and 2 big wooden roller coasters and a intermediate launcher and whatnot. I built an alpine coaster there, and I have to use dummy track on that too. But it was a little bit more tricky to get a dummy track right there, and I couldn't I couldn't put a dummy track station underneath the real station there, and it looks really shitty, so I was determined to do it right here. Yeah, because it just looks stupid if the peeps go in one station and then teleport themselves to another place. That just looks stupid as fuck. Another thing I want to do, I'm not sure if I'm doing it in the next episode or in the episode after that, or later, I don't know. I want the log flume to come out of a house on top of this mountain. That's why I'm giving all those flat spaces on the mountain itself, so that I have some place to put the building there, the building where the log flume comes out on top. So, but that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you will tune in on the next episode, on episode 93 on Friday. And till then, have a nice day. Goodbye.